Hello, this is Katie with Homeschool Chat, and today we're going to talk about spelling. I've gone through a whole bunch of subjects, and I believe I'll have to look it over, but I believe spelling is the last one I will cover for now. There are different ways to homeschool spelling. You can purchase an app with a spelling program on it. You can I can show you some resources where you won't have to spend any money at all. And you can go to a bookstore and purchase workbooks, which children seem to really like. Now, because I homeschool from kindergarten all the way through high school, actually preschool, all the way through high school graduation, I want to address the high school students, and I'll do my little trick where I have a blackboard that I hold up and I show you that we're talking about 7th grade through 12th grade. So those of you that have high school students, you can just fast forward to that point in the video and then you can get your information and you don't have to watch the other stuff. So let's start off with spelling for your child, and we're gonna talk about kindergarten through probably 6th or 7th grade. You can go to my favorite place to go, I should say, to Barnes and Noble and get a workbook. Kids really seem to like workbooks, and it's very important to choose a workbook that's going to be interesting to your child. If you're not interested when you look through this workbook, if it doesn't engage you as the teacher, it's not going to engage your child. Your child isn't going to be interested if you're not interested. If the pages look too technical, you really need to consider if it's right for your child. Now, I realize that in kindergarten, you have workbook pages that have a lot of cartoons and maybe color spots and things like that. And when you get to 6th and 7th grade, they're more adult. So there's less cartoon, there's more business-like arrangement in the workbook. So I will show you 2 resources that I used, and I will talk to you also about the complete curriculums. There are workbooks that you can purchase that take care of all the subjects that you need. You can definitely find them from kindergarten through 5th grade. 6th grade is very hard to find in workbooks. It can be done, but it's very hard to find. So you can do a complete curriculum and workbook, and spelling is included with that. Now, if you're just beginning homeschooling, I suggest that you buy more than one book of complete curriculum. And the reason is that these kids, most of them tear through the first workbook way before the end of the year. And then you have a child that isn't doing anything for months. And then when you give them the workbook for the next year or whatever, then they can't remember it. If you give them the workbook for the next year, you have the possibility, not the actual, it doesn't have to happen this way, but sometimes these workbooks will advance a little faster than you think. And so if your child doesn't have their foundation, I guess you would say, or the previous lessons down firmly, then when they go into the next year's set of workbooks, they can get to a point, and it just depends on the child, where it's like, oh wow, this is really hard for my child, and your kid is frustrated. So I suggest, and this is just my suggestion, you can do whatever you want, but I suggest that if you're going to do a complete curriculum workbook where your child just goes through the workbooks and it has all of the subjects that your child needs to learn for that year, I suggest that you buy 2 sets, like 2 different publishing companies of workbooks and call that your curriculum for the full year. The other thing that you can do is you can buy workbooks for spelling. And I have 3 that I've used that I'm really happy with. The first one that I want to go into, and my daughter said this was her favorite. It's, I believe the publishing company is called Flash Kids. The workbook looks like this, and it's Harcourt Family Learning. And I found it at Barnes & Noble. So you can get online and see if you can find something like this. It goes by grade. The grade is on the spine of the workbook. And this is somewhat of what the pages look like. So there's color there, there's space so that the child isn't overwhelmed. And the activities are pretty fun. So that is my suggestion. I have here a stack of 1, 2, 3, and 4 grades. Now the other thing that I suggest is Sylvan Learning Brand. And I have here a 3rd grade and a 4th grade. One is called Spelling Success, and one is called Vocabulary Success. Now, I found a little glitch in this. There's one of them, and I can't remember which one. I think it's the Vocabulary Success. There's one of them that is very advanced. So you as a parent need to look at it and say, oh, wow, this isn't my kid's grade. So your book may say 3rd grade on it, and in actuality, it's 4th or 5th grade. So just be aware of that if your child is starting a workbook like this and it's too hard for them, it might be that the workbook is more advanced than the grade your child is in. So this is what the pages look like. And this also is probably a good format for the 5th, 6th, 7th graders. And the other one has the same design inside. So they're very similar. Okay. So that is a Barnes & Noble resource. And that was Sylvan Learning and Spelling Skills. The publisher was Flash Kids. And I will leave some sort of a link in the description below. Now, if you want to teach your child spelling and you kind of need it to be free and you're not really sure how to go about it, I did find a site. I didn't use it on my child, and so that being said, if you want to do research on your own and look online to see if there's other sites that you can use, go for it. But one of the free resource sites that you can use, it's spellquiz.com, and it goes through and talks about it allows you to choose a grade, and then it has this one is first grade, and it has spelling list 1, spelling list 2, spelling list 3, all the way through 9. And then you scroll down a little bit and it has just a list of words. That's all it has. So you as a parent can go over with your child how to learn a spelling word, which is just how you did it when you went to school. And then you correct the spelling. And if you need a resource, it's right here for the answer key, basically. And this is also available, let's see, is it available to print? I thought I saw a print. I might not have seen, I think there's a print button. If not, it's just a list of words that you can give your child. So that is a free resource for, let's see which grades. That is not it. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. All the way through 12th grade. So that's a resource for you. Okay. And let me think. If you want to purchase an app, you're just going to have to research and see what kinds of apps are available. I know that with my kids, if it appears to be a game, my kids were really interested in it. So that's something that you might consider. So that, I think, is all I have for spelling as a subject. And thank you so much. I'm going to now put up the blackboard for the older kids. So thank you very much. So this is spelling for 7th through 12th graders. Spelling for 7th through 12th graders is not necessary. In public school, they usually stop teaching spelling about 6th or 7th grade. Now, there are reasons to continue spelling classes, and you may consider them. One is that if your child has issues with learning spelling, you might want to continue spelling class, because in high school and in college, there's a lot of writing, and it's a lot easier for a child to write if they already know how to spell the word. Now, I know there's a lot of, spell checks and things that you can do that's on all the word programs for writing. But do you want your child to depend upon the spell check, or do you want your child to have a very good foundation in spelling? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Now, if you are not sold on teaching spelling at all, then that's fine. Use spell check. Tell your child to use the dictionary. Whatever you need to do to kind of help your child to get through the writing process. And maybe your child doesn't need it at all. And then this is just something that you do not need to teach. So you can just drop spelling from either 7th grade or 8th grade all the way through high school graduation. It's not a big deal. You can totally drop it. And usually in high school, the reason why they do drop that is that in high school, there are other subjects that are brought in. So your child really doesn't have a whole lot of extra time, I guess you'd say. So that is why they do that. Now, that being said, I will give you some resources. And I think I will start with the online resource that I found. I have not used it myself, but I did find it and quickly look through it, and it looks like a very good resource. It's a free resource, and it's called spellquiz.com. And in that, you choose the grade. So this goes from 1st grade spelling words through 12th grade spelling words. And then there is a button called adult spelling words. Then you can just press that button and it gives you a spelling list, and you can study the spelling words, take a spelling test like you would in a younger grade, and go on with that. And it's a free resource. And you as the teacher would correct the spelling when it's done. Now, if you are interested in doing a workbook for 7th grade through 12th grade spelling, I highly suggest Sylvan Learning is the brand, and there are 2 different kinds of books. I got them at Barnes & Noble. One is called Spelling Success, and one is called Vocabulary Success. Look into that. Look over it. I'll show you a little bit of what it looks like inside. And your child can use that to do spelling class. And you'll have it covered. Whoops, that one showed up twice, didn't it? And I'm not getting to the page, but there's a crossword puzzle in there. And so those are the resources that I know of. If you want to look into getting an app, go ahead and research. And so they have some great apps out there. I know that there's one that may appear as a game, which would make it easier and more fun. So that's about all I have for today. So thank you very much for joining me and have a blessed day. Bye.